Hello, everybody. Welcome on the Lights on Data show. Today, we're going to see how we could build data pipelines for Snowflake in a matter of minutes. Yes, really. And we'll see how from our dear guest,
which I'm going to introduce. Our guest is an award-winning co-founder and CTO of Lyftrondata with specialty expertise in data engineering and cloud analytics. He has been recognized by the industry as a thought leader and an innovative technology evangelist. He has formed Lyftrondata with the mission to change the way data is accessed for analytics, as the data should be available instantly with a low-code or no-code solution by enabling querying any source with ANSI SQL. Everyone, please welcome Javed.
hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dan and George, for giving me opportunity for presenting what is Lyftrondata. I'll be happy to walk my audience through how Lyftrondata will help them building the pipelines automatically without any coding know-how with low code and no code solution and move any data into Snowflake in just a matter of minutes.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for sharing this wonderful knowledge with us. Before we actually start the presentation, may I please ask you, just for everyone to be on the same page, what are data pipelines?
Data pipeline is a mechanism which will let you move a data from point A to point B. So point A could be an API. It may be your applications like your CRM applications, your ERP application, and from your other legacy database platforms. And point B would be because you are moving the data into the cloud platform, because now the industries are moving more towards cloud oriented data platforms. So that's where you will take your data into different platforms, either Snowflake and other data warehouses that are available of your choice in the market.
Okay. And so I assume it doesn't just work with Snowflake, but there are other data warehousing solutions that
Exactly.
you'll be able
So
to utilize.
yes, we have a native integration with a Snowflake, but we do also have a native integration with BigQuery, with Amazon Redshift, with Azure Synapse, and as well as on writing into different data lakes on with the Spark powered lakes on S3 and with the blogs and on Google Storage as well.
Wow. Okay. That's definitely quite the gamut. So is there really an advantage though on creating that data pipeline outside of Snowflake?
Yes, there is an advantage because Snowflake doesn't allow you to basically bring the data. For instance, if I want to bring the data from Gmail, from ServiceNow, and from maybe Business Center 365 or Dynamic ERP and so on, for that I have to write a very comprehensive custom API coding, either because Snowflake allows, they have recently launched reading data from different APIs, but you have to write either Azure functions or Lambda functions for that to convert at the endpoints into a relation format, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of knowledge as well for that system. So we are eliminating that overall custom coding that you may be requiring to do with other tools or with Snowflake. So with us, we have built the connectors, and these connectors will automatically convert these source data automatically into a relation format, which you can directly query with SQL instantly. And then you can load the data into Snowflake, and you can also analyze it instantly with any BI tools or any machine learning tools.
That you then connect to Snowflake with. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so there will be definitely a lot more questions. Should we just get into it?
Sure.
All right. So you have the floor here.
Let me.
I love how this looks.
Present my screen fully. Okay. So thank you all. I think Lyftrondata is your data delivery platform, which is enabling enterprises to move the data from web applications, legacy databases, mobile apps, enterprise apps, ERP, and IoT data. Lyftron idea was born from these three perspectives. The number one is to centralize all of the data in a normalized structure analyze it instantly with SQL, BI, and machine learning tools. Second thing is to reduce the cost of data management in terms of hours that is you need to do for the development and the resources you need to hire to support the development and the processes that you build to basically manage that later on. And enable data engineer and analysts to build data pipeline automatically and run rapid fast queries across unified sources instantly. So on the right, you can see a quick sneak peek where we are getting the data from different sources. We have data coming from Salesforce, from Mongo, then we have MailChimp, Facebook, Hive, Spark, and your S3. In between, your Liftron data platform will sit. So as soon as data comes in, we will convert that into a normal structure where you can build your data hub. You can build data warehouse. We also support Liftron data managed warehouse services as well. We have a data replication, which will take care of capturing the changes from the sources and let it basically move into the target. Then you can build your own semantic model as well, so you can analyze whatever data we are converting with any BI and machine learning tools. Inbuilt security is being powered by the metadata management, as well as row level and column level security has been built in. So the full process of data governance has been taken care as well. Then we have a built-in data catalog with Snowflake. If you want to basically moving any data or tables and you want to see that overall lineage and data catalog, we are covering that piece as well. And then we are providing a self-service management layer, which will let you query data like a SQL client to our platform in a standardized format.
And how is
So
the
at the
metadata being created for the metadata repository for the data catalog? How is that, technical metadata, business metadata? Does it require human input, I guess, just to go through the columns and start to define them, or?
No. So our connectors will automatically create those columns. It will automatically convert either the JSON or XML input into the relational format. And then you have a mechanism to rename those columns if you would like to. And that's how the metadata has been created, which is being powered by Liftron data itself. And then we are giving you a mechanism to map that columns, those tables, those schemas against specific tagging. That way you can easily able to eliminate data silos that you may have, and you can define the real value of those objects to your group.
I agree with Giovanna here from Milan that it's quite cool. I think that alone would really save a data engineer, a data scientist, plenty of hours.
That's correct.
All right, sorry for interruption.
So at the bottom, you can see we will land this data to either our own Liftron Power Warehouse Lake, or you can also get the over an API. You can land it to your warehouse of your choice and also connect with any BI and machine learning tools. Like if you would like to connect with the notebooks, we have a direct integration with that, or you can connect with any BI tools as well. You can analyze its data instantly. So what enterprises need from the data is very straightforward. You would like to connect with any data. You would like to shorten time to insight. You would like to query with SQL, and you would like to eliminate data silos. But achieving all these four major pillars are difficult with your current technology bottleneck, because you cannot connect with all the data without converting API, JSON, or XML, or different SQL dialect into a standardized format, and that required a lot of custom processing. Your reports still crawl because you can't get data instantly. You can't cache data when you need it, and for that purpose, you have to basically link data multiple times to get that to get the data available in the reports. You can't query everything with SQL because not all data is same. So for that, you have to write custom process to do that conversion, and you cannot eliminate data silos because you end up creating your lot of endpoints and lot of objects as and when needed, but you do not know later on that what is the purpose of those specific tables and where exactly are those tables being used. So these are the four main pillars where Liftron data is helping enterprises to be fully data driven and uncover insights behind them. So what exactly are you getting with Liftron data? So we say Liftron data is like a magic box where you're getting all of your data, all of your security, and all of your insights that you never thought possible in a single container. So the very first thing you're getting is we are eliminating no more complex ETLs and ELTs because we are making it very simple. We are making it fully self-driven process where anybody who is the non-programmer, they can also use our platform. and anybody who understands SQL, it really works well for them as well. So then the second point is you can easily able to democratize your data with M5 SQL, because SQL is a language that we understand because we are emulating or virtualizing SQL Server protocol on the fly. So with the pipeline, you're pretty much getting the full database features as well on the pipeline side. There's a shortened time to insight where you can easily able to connect any BI tools, analyze your data instantly without worrying about loading the data and converting first into a database. So if you have any project that needs to go live quickly, so this point will work out really well. We support hybrid cloud management and migration, where you can have Liftron data sit on any of the cloud of your choice, either AWS, Azure, or Google, or DigitalOcean as well. And you can do the migration from your on-premise databases or on-premise platforms back in the cloud through our one push migration that comes along with Liftron data.
So you mentioned the security piece a few times, and I see it here as well, and that's definitely something that's very important to address. So how can you have multiple user accesses and different types of access for the same data pipeline? Can you do that with Liftron data?
Exactly. So that's where our data governance comes into play, and we have taken the data governance at the granular level of the columns, where you can create different roles, and then you can assign specific access rights to those roles at the column level. So you can control the security, even though you may have access to the whole table. But if I am not sharing a specific column with you, so you cannot see the data. I can control who in my team will see that. And not only in my team, we have a very innovative feature for data sharing as well, where you can directly basically invite your third-party vendors right now, because you may be sharing data with either email, FTP, or writing complex APIs. So we are eliminating all that need. What we're seeing that as soon as you have data available in Liftron, and now with the Liftron platform, now you want to share with a third party, simply send them the invite as you do it with a Google Drive or something. If I have a document, I can simply send you the link, and you will access that document or that data instantly. So the same concept, you bring it into a pipeline where you can simply invite them. You can give access controls to them that are on which databases, on which tables you want to give them access. Simply create one-click clone. It's like a virtual clone, and you can have them onboarded, and then you can give them an option as well to read the data, analyze the data, as well as to take the data and load it into their target platform as well, because the pipeline feature will also be available to them based on the access you granted to them.
And as SR is mentioning, great. So maybe we can leave that for another episode, just to cover the data governance aspect of Liftron data. I feel that there's a lot to uncover there and know about. But let's get back to our today's topic on how to build a data pipeline for Snowflake.
Sure. So I'll go over with a few more slides, and then we'll go over to the demo.
Perfect.
Sure. So here we have, I was talking about, we have a built-in Apache Spark engine. That is where that is the brain behind Liftron data, and that's how it gives the compute power as well. So you can easily able to scale that with either your own Spark engine. You can connect with EMR or Azure Insight and do the push down on those platforms as well, or you can do the push down on the Snowflake as well. So this is showing you how Liftron platform overall architecture works behind the scenes. So we say it's like a Lego block because each of the layers are complementing one another. So it's been split up into 6 layers. So we have the source layer, which is basically giving you full information about the different connectors that we will connect. Then you have a transformation layer, which will convert the source layer into a normalized format and let you build your pipelines for your data replication. You can build your data vaults, data marts, your semantic layer, and data sharing. Then we have a compute engine, which will let you decide where exactly you want to keep your compute at. If you want to do it on the Liftron data side, then you can use Spark for that. Or if you want to push it down to your data warehouse of your choice, you can do it on BigQuery, on Snowflake, and on other data warehouse of your choice. Then we have a metadata layer, which will take care of alerts, your different schedulings, logs, your workflow management, and your data cataloging. Security layer will take care of your access right. If you want to basically do encryption of your data, hashing and tagging, you can do that as well. And the target layer will eventually land this data into different target platforms or let you consume by with any other BI and ML tools. So is a quick sneak peek that how Liftron data will fit in an enterprise culture and how it's basically a good match with how you're using your Snowflake right now. So moving, this slide is moving from bottom to top. So at the bottom, we are having data coming from cloud storage, your SaaS application, legacy databases, business line, ERPs, as well as from web analytics. In between, we are doing a governance transformation. That's where the Liftron data will sit, and we are basically building your hubs, data lakes, your data warehouses, and other mechanism that is being taken care by Liftron data. And at the top, this is where the delivery and discovering visualization will be happening to the customer, where you'll be doing your data exploration of your warehouse of your choice, either with a Snowflake, BigQuery, your Azure Synapse, and Redshift. And the data visualization will happen with any BI tools of your choice. Scheduled delivery will happen either to the email notification, Slack notification, as well as with S3. And then we have a full REST API coverage as well, where you can directly get whatever you have imported here as a JSON, and we are maintaining the full API hub as well through our platform. So I'll just end my presentation here. If we have any questions, I can address that now before we can move to the demo. Otherwise, I can just keep on moving to the demo.
Yeah, maybe let's just go into the demo, and I'm curious on all of this. Really, how much time would it take for a company, once they engage with you, to set up using Liftron data for their own environment?
Normally the setup, so we have three flavors of Liftron data distribution. The first is the SaaS flavor, where you do not need to do any setup, which is fully managed by Liftron data. It's just a fraction of minutes where you can set it up, and there is no setup required. Second thing is a PaaS option, where you can send out Liftron data in Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud environment. We have our app available in the marketplace, so that takes around 30 minutes of your time for setting it up. And third option is on-premise. If somebody would like to do it on-premise, then you can directly do that as well. Simply install the installer, and it takes maybe 15-20 minutes to get it installed.
So what Liftron does is it covers a lot of functions, right? So it's not only the data engineers. And I was wondering, who do you talk to in a company? So who is your counterpart in the company?
Okay, so you can see this flow. So this flow will give you a very quick idea that how exactly and who exactly will basically work with Liftron data. So with Liftron data, we make it accessible for anybody and everybody who is part of a data management group. It could be a business analyst, it could be a data analyst, it could be a data architect, ETL developer, BI developer, data scientist, managers, and the business users. Everybody can work together. So we are basically combining both programmers as well as non-programmers to work basically at a given time on this single platform.
Got it. So it really depends on the needs, the scope, and you can engage with again, a gamut of individuals.
Okay.
Exactly. And these are the specific use cases that Liftron data is solving. So you're getting a data virtualization as well through the platform. You're getting a data pipeline that will support both ETL and ELT push down. We are supporting API data hub, data warehouse, which is managed by Liftron. Then we are having built-in data catalog, data governance, data replication, and data quality as well. And we are adding the support for data modeling as well, so you can do all that as well inside the Liftron data platform.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we are in the platform. So as you can see, this is a fully web-based GUI, very easy to interact GUI. There is no much learning curve required over here. So it's a very well documented, where once you log in, you have a quick start guide which will tell you how to utilize the platform. We have the different steps over here. Then we have the video as well over here that will tell you how to utilize the platform, and we have a very well documentation section as well, which will give you the quick know-how of each connectors, how to build the pipeline if you're coming at first time, how to load the data, and all that has been covered pretty well.
Perfect. So what we're seeing here is actually what an end user would see when they would be using Liftron data.
Exactly. So when you're logging
Okay.
at the first time, so we're showing you onboarding at a glance. So we have added some quick start steps, which will let you use this. And then we have some
Mhm.
detailed steps as well. So we are having that in this section, that how you will use it in a detailed way as well,
Okay.
right? So the first section is over here, the dashboard. Once you logged in, it will give you the quick sneak peek of what exactly is been going on in the 360-degree level view of your platform. Number of data sources you've connected, number of connections you have made, how many number of REST table you have, how many users have been connected, how many are active, and how many workflows been running. And at the bottom, you can see the recent processes who has run those processes, been success or has been failure. You can see all that information. And on the right, you can see how would you connect to the Liftron data tool from a third party. So you can directly point out to this specific IP and this port number, because Liftron data is emulating SQL Server protocol on fly. So you can connect to Liftron data like a database with a SQL Server driver as well through any third-party tool of your choice.
Hmm. Would a company ever have multiple instances of Liftron data?
Yes, you can have multiple instances of Liftron data. It depends on what exactly is your use case. We have some customers which are having Liftron data spin out into different regions, and then they are using that connection to basically combine all the usage data at a common platform. We have some customers which use it for different environments as well, like they want to segregate the different environments, they do it that way, and for different departments as well.
Okay. All right.
So the first stage is basically you will come here where you will be setting up some of the connections, that how would you like to bring the data. So I have some connections here. So we have connection set up here for the business 365 to let you bring the data from dynamic CRM. Then we have a Google Drive for Gmail, ServiceNow, we have for Snowflake, Spark, and so on. So pretty much adding connection is pretty easy. You can go and choose between, we have split it up between the sources and the targets. And right now we're supporting more than 300 connectors. That's
Wow.
involving majority of the APIs. You can bring any API. Then if you're not finding the connector of your choice, so we can customize and build a custom connector of your choice in no more than a week or two. We have our own framework to build this connector pretty much. So if you're not finding anything, so we build a lot of custom connectors as well for our customers. So we will be taking care for you. So pretty much you can see the sources and the targets. The targets are mostly on the database side right now that we are supporting.
Hmm.
And then we have categorized them pretty much by specific industry, that what exactly you would like to do, their type,
Wow.
accounting, your big data, if you want to pick up the data from different ads, so these are the ads API. If you want to pick up the data from different CRMs, so we are supporting these many CRMs. If you want to pick up the data from any of the marketing engines, and these are the APIs for all those marketing engines as well. If you want to pick up the data from any of the payment processing, so you can basically do that from here as well,
Amazing.
right? So I can quickly show you how to easily connect a data without any coding. So I can connect with my Gmail. That's the easiest way to show the use case. So I can simply type my email that I want to authenticate with, simply do it here. I am already been signed in. It's already authenticated my email. Simply create my connection.
Hmm.
Now, after I have done with my connection, I have two options. I can do it this step manually, or I can directly go and use my quick start step that we make it specifically for the people that they will know the whole wizard, so they do not need to go step by step. So I can simply click on the quick start, and now it's asking me to choose an existing connection which I can use. This one, I just created that, and it's automatically give you data source name here. Now I'm going not now what is happening, my our connectors are basically going and checking all the endpoints of my Gmail APIs, and it's automatically converted those endpoints into a relational format. So you can see this
Hmm.
is a real-time replication of the Gmail that I have, all the data.
So it real time, or is it just taking a snapshot at the time that you're connecting to it?
No, it's real time because we are not
Wow.
moving the data yet. We are not moving the data yet. So I can pretty much basically check it where you can see it converted the overall layout into a relational format.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the main USP that we are bringing in the industry, because to do this thing with any of the traditional ETL tool, just to connect with one endpoint, it required at least 4 to 5 step process. And you have to load this data into a database before you will analyze. Now see, I need to do this thing for the full Gmail is more than 2-3 months of work for a ETL to
Right.
do that conversion.
No,
That we
I
have
can't
done
see the
it in this.
details very well, but are we seeing here the name of tables or tables and columns, or what are we seeing
Yeah,
here?
this is the name. This is the name of the database that you will be creating.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the name of the table, and inside there you have the name of the columns and the type of the columns.
Got it.
So we're going at the column granular level. So now I can pretty much pick it up from here that which of the tables I want to bring it on. So suppose I want to bring on maybe my French fries recording. I want to bring on some of my customers data, and then I need to bring on some of my outreaches and some of my Gartner work that I have done, or maybe Excel data where I can simply import.
Okay.
It's importing all this metadata into the Liftron data engine. And now in the step 2 is going to ask you that where exactly would you like to land this data? So I will have a choice to land it on a Spark or on a Snowflake. So I will choose I want to do it on a Snowflake. So I'll go next. So now it is reading my Snowflake engine and it's telling me these are the different tables that I have on my Snowflake cluster. Do you want to bring it in? I do not want to bring it because I want to load the new data in there. So I did not select anything. And these are the table that I selected, and it's basically asking me to create the pipelines. So I can do that. And this is asking me to create the schema.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just create the schema with Gmail too, and I will rename this pipeline if you would like to. You can simply rename it here or remove these.
And as part of the same data pipeline, can you import from two different sources and then just merge them in here?
Yes, you can. But right now we are doing one-to-one migration. But if you want to do a transformation, then I can show you that in a moment. Right? Then you simply click on Create Pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So what it's going to do is creating a Gmail 2 schema in Snowflake. And then it's basically creating these pipeline on Liftron data. And now it's asking me to create these tables under that pipeline under Snowflake. So we have two options here. Either we should create a replication, means we are physically moving the data, or we are creating a real time. Real time means we are not loading the data into Snowflake, whereas we are simply creating a virtualized view on the Liftron data platform where you can directly connect with a third party to get the data instantly in a relational format, because we're supporting both database and data virtualization concept in one platform. I would rather like to load the data into a Snowflake. So I can simply click it here and simply say run. And our job bulk replication has been started. And we can see our data will be loading, basically loaded. And here you can see it here. And we can simply go and check a Snowflake here. So you can see it's been created here, and all the data has been loaded back here with the number of rows that we loaded, how many number of rows it has. It basically picked up the data and basically load the data with whatever rows it has. Now, if you would like to go and you would like to change these pipelines where you're saying you want to do the you need to combine this thing and you may need to do some transformation on top of it, then you can simply click it here, go to edit. Now we have a view where you can do simply drag and drop. You can do different type of transformations. So suppose I would like to do the joins with my drive data. Then I can simply drag and drop here. And I'll gonna do what type of joins based on ID. This one I want to do a right outer join based on ID, and I can add multiple fields based on my requirement here.
Well, this is so much easier than writing the SQL code.
Yes, and it will generate the full SQL code for you.
Do people need training on the tool?
Not as much. I think we have pretty much anybody who understand SQL, or they are pretty much a very basic knowledge as well. So only a day would be fine then to work on Liftron Data Platform, because we made it very easy for them to understand it. So you can see it here. Once I did that, it automatically parsed this information into a joins, and it automatically created my left outer join, my right outer join, whatever I have selected, and my query is ready. I can simply
And can you edit that in
my,
there if you choose to do so?
you
Can you edit the SQL? Yeah.
You can edit that SQL, or I'm going to show you our analyze feature as well, which you can do much more than that.
Okay.
Right, then you can simply go next, save it, and you are good to go. Now, there is another feature that we have added here in the application. When you are landing this data, so we are giving you an option that what you want to do with your data when you're loading it. Whether would you like to do an insert, means just a simple insert, or you want to do a type 1 and type 2, which is very useful in a data warehousing world. Type 1 is you're replacing everything, you're not keeping any history. Type 2, normally you keep the history of all the changes that happens to the specific fields. So with either of these, there is no coding needed. You can simply tell us what is your ID for type 1 and type 2. Suppose the ID will be the natural keys from the source. So I can choose this is my unique combination. And I want to see the changes based on if any of these things changes. Suppose if my message body changes, if my attachment changes, or if somebody BCC has been changes, so I want to record those things. And Liftron data is automatically adding these extra fields on your target table to track those changes. So with the traditional platform, you have to write a very cumbersome job to handle these type of operations. But we made it easy for the people that you do not need to worry about doing any coding at all, and simply choose your selection, and we can take care of the job for you. Then the piece of change data capture will come, that when you're loading, whether you would like to do the full load all the time, or you would like to do incremental load. Incremental load means you want to pick up the data wherever you land up last time. So we are giving you multiple mechanisms to pick up that. Either you can do an incremental on the sources, incremental on the target, or you can have Liftron Data Platform decide based on the date and time fields for detecting those changes. If I'm choosing based on the source, then it will ask you, tell us which one is your incremental field. If I say, okay, ID is my incremental field, then Liftron data will keep record of that, and it will apply the where clause sandwich next time it is going to detect the changes and only pick up the latest record. So we are not going to scan the full table. We only pick up the latest changes that happened and simply read that and load it into the target. And then where you have a different option of how would you like to treat your target table when you're loading, whether would you like to drop and recreate, or you want to truncate it, or there is no cleaning needed. Is again depend on your business case, what you're trying to do. So based on that, you can easily able to take care of the stuff.
Wow.
Lots of flexibility.
Yeah. And I think the interface is really good. It's really, really easy to use and to understand.
Yes, that's correct. Because the reason for that background is we want to make it easy for the non-programmers, so that they can easily able to go with much more with the blade layout, and it will make it easy for them to understand. And here in the management task, this is where your scheduling will come into play. So you can easily able to schedule. We have some out-of-the-box schedules that comes along here, or you can create based on your own. So we have a CORDS scheduler built into the platform. You can create your own, either daily, monthly, or your hourly, minutes, whatever interval you'd like to set it up. You can do that. and based on that, the job will run on a specific schedule run of your choice. So we talk about reading and loading the data from any source into the Snowflake target. So the second thing I would like to focus on are analyze features, because this is where we are giving you the full interface of querying any source data like a SQL without worrying about loading the data into a database. So for instance, I have created my Gmail database here. Data is still sitting on the Gmail. It's real time. This is the real time query. This is not a snapshot. If I would like to query this data, simply I will drag and drop and it will ask me what type of operation I would like to perform on my API. I would like to pick up all my data which is there in the table. Simply do that.
Mm-hmm. No, we can't hear you anymore. Just something is wrong with the microphone.
Maybe mute and unmute yourself.
Just feels the sound dropped all of a sudden. Sorry, folks, some technical difficulties here. So let me see. All right, well, while we're waiting for Javed, again, if you do have any questions on this solution or any feedback on how you might be doing your own data pipelines, do let us know. Okay, we're gonna be in focus by ourselves. See if he could fix the microphone issues while we're trying to stall here a little bit. And again, I think we had a few questions that we did want to ask, as you know, what the best practices are in creating some of these data pipelines. I see that he has some great wizards that you could follow, so it's easy when you don't know the steps or you haven't really used it before, you haven't done this before. It's pretty straightforward, and I feel that we still need data engineers, but I feel this would really lessen their workload as well into creating these data pipelines for data scientists, data analysts, BI professionals to use. And in the end, that's really one of the roadblocks that I feel we're facing. As I was looking at some back episodes last night with some great data scientists, and they were mentioning that that's really one of the roadblocks right now, the fact that it does take quite a little bit of time to create this data pipeline for them to be able to consume the data, use it for their own models, use it for their own data analytics projects. So this could definitely put the tools in the hands of those that need it most, and maybe lessen that time that it takes to create these data pipelines.
Yeah, so it definitely solves an existing problem. And I think it's very easy to use, honestly. So it looks very good, and it's pretty intuitive, especially now after the demonstration. What I was wondering, and I can't wait to ask Javed this, is how do you sell this to management? Right, because you can't really start showing them and demonstrating them. They just want to see what the benefits are.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, so do you, okay, right, so you are a director of data governance. What would convince you to use a tool like this?
Well, I think even from the business side, the one thing that stands out is the time saved.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying these folks quite a little bit of money. You're paying, data engineers, data scientists, they're well-paid positions, roles. So the less time they can spend on this and just dedicate it on something else that would bring value to the company, the better, right? So if we can create some efficiencies where we can save some time, we can definitely transform that into money saved, I would assume, per employee, and that could be your business case right there. On I don't know how much a license would cost to use it, but so that would definitely be one of them. And of course, Javed was talking a little bit about the data security piece, which is another bonus. And some data governance aspects which again could help with the operations of it all, and even having that data catalog in place that we haven't seen it. It sounds like it would be a good feature to make use of.
Yeah. And again, this was not exactly the question that I asked Javed, but I would be curious who would suggest to introduce this. So what a data engineer would come up with this suggestion? Who would it be? Hi, Javed. Welcome back.
Hey guys, sorry about it. There was some technical difficulty. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
yes.
Yes. All right.
Shall we go back to the demonstration? No, absolutely no worries.
It happens. It happens.
Okay.
We talked about we talked about the tool, and maybe you can have some time to after that to see what we discussed. It was generally praise and some questions that we're gonna ask you a little bit later after you finish the demonstration.
Sure. So I was just showing you over here that we have the Gmail API, and similar way we will have other APIs as well that I can show you how you can be able to analyze data instantly. And this is all real time. So I simply drag and drop, it created the full query for me. And if I am simply firing an execute statement, so right now it's picking the data at real time from my Gmail. And it's going to give me the response back in a relational format. So for the end customer, they would not be going with the idea of doing the snapshotting and reading and loading the data, where they can directly get everything that they need simply by firing a SQL statement. And they can also do a SQL transformation here on the fly as well, because we're supporting the full database transformations that is being supported by SQL Server. You can see it here on our documentation. We have a very lengthy SQL guide where you can see all the list of the functions that you can use. So pretty much anything that is being supported by SQL Server, you can use pretty much all of those functions. And apart from that, we have also have integration with Azure Cognitive AI services as well, where you can use AI services directly in our platform to basically get much more functionality that you may be looking. So you can see there's a lot many functions. And one of the coolest functions that we have are automatic JSON and XML parsing that you can do directly through our platform, which is our JSON value and XML function, which you can simply drag and drop your JSON. If the JSON XML is coming in a table field, we will automatically convert that into a relational format without you worrying about doing any type of conversion or creating that schema yourself. Our platform will take care of it automatically for you.
All right.
Right. And I think you talk about some point about the cataloging. I just want to touch quickly on the security part as well here that we touch on. So on each of the tables, we can go at the column level here. So these are my columns. I can go inside the column. Now, if this column may contain a sensitive information that I want to hide or I want to encrypt, simply click it here and we will auto encrypt the data for you. Further, you would like to do a data profiling at the column level, you can do it at this level here. You can control who will see this column based on the access right of the user and the role. And you can also do the tagging of the data at this column. Tagging means you can segregate the data, segregate the metadata based on your use case. Suppose you have a sales group, you have some sensitive data that you want to tag them separately. You have a finance group, you have a marketing group. So simply tag those based on that use case. Suppose this data may contain a sensitive information, I can tag it based on my sensitive data tagging.
And for auditing purposes,
Now,
would you be able to do it the other way around to select a user and kind of see the access that they would have? Or it's yes, not yet a functionality?
So you can pretty much go there. Yeah, so you can go with two ways. Either we can go with an administration panel, or we have a catalog panel. So in this catalog panel, you can pretty much search anything and everything on your platform that you connected with Liftron data. For instance, you have a data setting in ServiceNow, in Salesforce, in Hadoop, and various other ERPs and your different CRMs and your accounting applications. Once you connect it over here, so you can use this single platform to get all the insights about all of your data and dictionary about it. So pretty much I can check it, search it over here, bring me anything that may contain the term. Suppose if these table will have, there is nothing for employee. Let me just bring up maybe this instance, this has more data. So here, if I want to find out anything with the term city, so you can see we found 111 hits, where city keyword has been found one way or the other. You can see here is ethnicity, one way or the other. It's basically found that in 111 columns. So I can go and check that specific column, simply click here, what is the type of those columns. I can do the comments and I can collaborate in real time with my other group as well. Similar way, you can do the search based on the tagging. Now, whatever tags I have assigned, suppose I have assigned the tags when I was importing the data, and this will basically let you eliminate a data silos challenges that we have in different departments. So I want to see as a business owner that which tables, which databases, which columns are associated with the sales group. Simply click here. It's telling me there is one database which has 2 tables, and that table has 5 columns. I want to see which tables are those. Simply go here and it's telling me these are those tables which have been associated with the sales group. It's as easy to figure out that information pretty much on your fingertips. So anybody who are a data analyst, who are a data architect, it's really very useful for them because they need to, when they're building anything new, any new project, they need to find out a full lineage of their data assets. So this will give you that information. Now, second way is that if you want to figure it out, all the databases in your platform or all the schemas that is being used, or maybe all the tables, simply click here and it will give you the list of all that. And then you can search based on that table names on that specific keywords that you would like, that you're looking for.
Beautiful.
And the fourth level of searching is based on number of records. Now, whatever your pipeline has been loading into your tables, into your databases, then you can easily able to search that records from here. Between 10K to 100K, it's basically telling me there is one pipeline and which has 3 columns. I'm more interested to see which pipeline is this. So this is that pipeline. Right. So it gives you all that information. And then we have our third-party integration with the visualization piece, where we have a native integration with the notebooks as well. If you are
even with Jupyter notebooks. Wow.
So here's the place for you. Yes. And we have a direct integration with Google Colab, where you can simply click it here. Your Google Colab notebook will click it here. You can simply say new notebook, and you are up and running with Colab, and you can directly go ahead here, or you can connect with these settings into the Liftron data platform. Whatever I have coded here, either my pipelines, either my tables, you can directly access that information from the Colab here.
Okay.
Same thing you can do with the Kaggle or with Jupyter Notebook as well. Then you can connect with any BI tools or tool of your choice. If you won't like to access the data with Excel, you love Excel, we will let you do that. Simply pull out your Excel, connect with Liftron data with a JDBC driver or with the SQL driver, and whatever data you want to access on the fly, you can do the reporting on Excel instantly. And these are the other BI tools that we are supporting. There's a few of them, but we support pretty much all of them, which support direct data read from a SQL driver. Then you can also connect our platform with any application development platform of your choice. Either you can integrate it directly with .NET, with Python, with Golang, Node, whatever programming language you're doing, we will let you basically do that integration through our platform.
All right, that's quite a few options. And you mentioned that sometimes you might be adding new ones as well at the request of the customer.
That's correct, because we keep on adding the new processes based on the customer request, and it's keep on adding every month. So we have a release every month that goes on live, and we are releasing new connectors and new targets and new integration as well. So that's basically taken care based on that.
Okay.
So here now you can see the major reason is when you're running something, everybody would like to see the detail of what you have run, who has run what process, and whether it's been success and failure. So we're giving you the full information of who has been running on your platform, what type of queries they have run. So you can see the full information about that as well. Any workflow that has been running, you can see all that information here for the workflow level as well. Any active statement that has been running, you can see all that. Any client connection that you will have, you can see that. And further, what we have added some execution plan caching, which you have similar concept in a database as well, where if you need to figure out the bottlenecks, then we will go at the step level and you can figure out how the query being parsed, what is the input and output slot for that.
We have here a comment from Giovanna. Javed's tool makes magic.
Yep, and
So
other
true.
thing is over here is we have added another innovative feature of a broken pipelines. What does that mean? That you build a pipeline, but you do not realize that some of the sources may have been deleted, some column has been deleted, and when you run the pipeline, then you figure it out that something has changed. But here, our platform will keep on monitoring, and if something has changed, it basically give you that alert mechanism. So you are up to the speed, basically, without worrying about that pipeline to fail. So you can be able to take actions from here, and you can do the fixing over here. You can see it here saying that this pipeline will not run because the lookup table that is was looking, this specific database has been deleted.
Well, that's definitely something very useful. And I wonder, is this then something, a section that you would just need to go through every now and then, or would you actually get an alert, an email?
We will send you this in an email alert or in the Slack channel. So we have a very robust workflow management. So pretty much you can go here, you can go to the steps, and you can check your add your steps. So we have some predefined templates here, so where you can easily able to choose your actions, like what action would you like to perform, and you can send those actions based on the email, or you can send those actions based on to your Slack channel as well.
Well, as
So this is where
Gbenga
you will.
is mentioning, that's amazing.
Yep. So here, this is where you will set up your different steps, your sequences, that how exactly your processes will be running in which sequence. And if some action will happen, if it's success, then you want to send to the specific step, then you can do that as well. Or you can just say quit with success or quit with failure. You can do all that. So it's a very basically dynamic platform. You can basically use it based on your use case.
Okay.
And then we have this administration panel where you ask the questions about the role management. You can pretty much create different roles. You can see each of the different departments which are using, they create their own roles. You can have your user management, and then you can have your access right specifically for that specific role. You can see for this specific division, we are having the roles, and they can do only certain things what is being assigned to them.
Wow.
And then we have a built-in Spark cluster that comes along with it. If you would like to add your own more compute power, you are welcome to do so. Simply click on add, provide your Spark cluster details into EMR or other insights, and we will basically connect with that. And the full push down will happen into that platform.
Wow. Thank you. This is lots. This is a lot. Liftron can do a lot of things besides just building and managing those data pipelines. So this is impressive.
That's correct, because we are covering the all aspects of your data management lifecycle, because these are the different things that you will be basically doing in your data management, which we will be taking care with a single platform.
Right. And from your experience on building so many data pipelines, do you have some best practices that one should follow for creating these data pipelines?
Normally, the best practices are when you're creating the pipelines, the proper naming convention needs to be there for either the pipeline for the tables, and when you're using your schema names as well in the target, that needs to be properly named. And I think we are taking care of that automatically. That way, you don't have to worry about doing that process yourself. So we are already adding different keywords. And then when you're creating your schedules and your replications, then that also we will be keeping in mind what type of a process you want to run, what is the frequency of those loads. You should not be basically choosing the frequency so soon that your previous job is not ended and you basically starting your new job. The frequency needs to be chosen based on how much is the throughput of your current job, how much time is that job has been taking, and based on that, you will basically schedule your jobs. And similar way, the transformation that you are applying on the specific job needs to be measured, that how and when you want to do the transformation on the fly. Normally APIs, you can get the data, but if you're having a huge amount of data, then you should not be doing the full push down on the API side because it would slow down the performance. You can land the data first into your data warehouse and then do the analysis on top of it and do the transformation on top of it.
So I think we definitely saw quite a little bit of Liftron secret sauce, really to manage and convert any API to a relational format and then analyze it. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us on this?
That's correct. So you can pretty much connect any API into different formats. I will have a Business Central 365 here. So if I will go here, I can simply show you. I can choose this connection, go next. So this is I think not working. Let me just see it here if it's working. Okay, the service now is here. You can see similar way we can able to get the data from ServiceNow, and it's basically a huge amount of tables. So it read 3,978 tables in just matter of minutes, and we able to convert all of that into a relational format endpoints. Now consider if you would like to do this thing with any traditional ETL tool, minimum 6 months and maybe longer. And then you need to have a knowledge of a ServiceNow platform before you do that. But with us, we are giving you the full data model as well. For any API that you will use, if you can go to our website, so you can see we have shown some of the data models that we are uncovering on our website as well, where you can see how exactly your source platform will look like. So here you can see we have a Shopify ERD, and with this ERD, you can understand how your source platform really caters the data. So this is how we are changing the whole dynamics of anybody who would like to build the process around these connectors. So you do not need to worry about understanding and doing the business analysis on that and then building data modeling on that. Where we are creating the data models out of the box data models for you and making you easy for your team to basically get it ready basically in a matter of minutes without worrying about investing more time in building and analyzing this type of models.
That's incredible. I mean, I know having worked and having build up some data models myself, this alone takes a lot of time, and even just the license on purchasing the software to be able to create these models is quite hefty. So another bonus from Liftron Data.
Exactly. And I think this is the, sorry.
No, go ahead. Please answer the question.
Yeah, I think, and there is one more challenge here, George, because most of the people who do data modeling, data architect, they understand only the SQL as a language. They are not programmers. If I will ask them to build a data model on Shopify, they cannot do that because they have to first understand the domain of that. You need to have a domain knowledge. You need to understand how ServiceNow works. You need to understand how Dynamic CRM works. You need to understand how NetSuite works because not everybody can do that. So traditionally, right now, if anybody do that, then they first ask a data engineering team to first unload this data into relation format before they will do an analysis, and that will take sometimes 6 months to over a year, and sometimes those projects get shelved because of the budget issues. But we are eliminating all that dependency because we are saying we build the connectors for you, and those connectors will give you the full data model insights. So you have your project, use our platform, and then get up and running in less than a week, and you will have your data into your target in less than a week.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, it's already 9 o'clock here, but I wanted to ask one more question. If, let's say, a data engineer would like to sell this tool to their manager, what would you suggest that they say?
I think the very first thing we say to them is we are solving 4 use cases. Number first is simplicity. Number second is cost. Number third is time. And number 4 is the overall acceleration for your time to basically market your product in the market. Then you can easily able to have your product up and running in a matter of days, not months.
Yep. That's a huge selling point.
That would sell it. Yes. All right. So as Dana mentioned, we're coming close to a closing time here, and we just want to let people know that if they want to go and have a demo, they could just go to liftron.com, and they could just request a demo for you guys, have a little bit more personalized, I guess, to their needs, and have them ask questions and see how it relates to their own challenges and their own environment.
Well, yeah, definitely. And we are giving 14 days and maybe longer free trials based on each customer use case. And we will work out with their POC's needs as well if they need more assistance from our side. So we will basically assign our data engineers and data architects specifically that will work hand in hand for their use cases. So that they will be successful, and therefore we are trying to basically do that. And we are launching our new plans as well to make it much more basically adaptable for different SMBs and mid-level market as well. So our new plans are starting on the connection level, which is starting $99 for per connector, and that's how you will get it up and running. So that is much basically cheaper as compared to other players in the market.
Well, as Tosif Khan was saying here, it's quite impressive. It's a turnkey platform, and you must be feeling very proud of what you've built, and looking forward to hearing more from you. And I think we need to have you back to uncover more on what Liftron Data could offer.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us in. And don't forget to, again, check out liftron.com and follow Javed Syed on LinkedIn and engage with him there as well.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, George and Diana.